The and asset, like a hammer, is a tool, right? And you can put a hammer in the tool of a toddler, and it's probably not going to have a lot of value. In fact, it may hurt them.
Yep.
Okay. Or you can put a hammer in the hand of a skilled craftsman, and it may have a ton of value. So the reason I say that is because financial tools are, in fact, they're tools, and how we use them and why we use them and when we use them is all very, very important.
This is BetterWealth with Caleb Guilliams. Welcome to the BetterWealth Show. In today's episode, I'm sitting down with my good friend Jereme Roodhouse, and we're covering a very relevant topic. Today's topic is does the and asset make sense for me right now? It's a common question that we're getting. A lot of people are calling in, and we just want to answer that. So, Jereme, if I was to blatantly ask you, bro, should I be doing an and asset? How would that dialogue be?
Man, well, I say it like this. As with humans, so goes with the and asset. And the answer is it depends. And essentially, why does it depend? Because the and asset, like a hammer, is a tool, right? And you can put a hammer in the tool of a toddler, and it's probably not going to have a lot of value. In fact, it may hurt them.
Yep.
Okay. Or you can put a hammer in the hand of a skilled craftsman, and it may have a ton of value. So the reason I say that is because financial tools are, in fact, they're tools, and how we use them and why we use them and when we use them is all very, very important. So this is maybe a negative word, but we really have to interrogate the problem, and we have to interrogate the situation, and we have to interrogate the person and the family and the business to find out, does this make sense? So it's not as simple as, hey, Jereme, I'm on the phone with you. I've got $1,000 a month to save. Does this make sense for me? The answer is maybe. And so we have to take a step back. Well, Mr. Potential Client, what are you trying to accomplish? And so then I think the very best place to go is we have 4 principles here at BetterWealth, and those principles are clarity, efficiency, consistency, and consistency is caveated by accountability, and we'll get back to that here in a second, and use, okay? And these can be processes, like a step-by-step process, or it can be cyclic, because you could come and have this dialogue at any point in time. Clarity's up front, though, because as you so eloquently state all the time, Caleb, if you don't know where you're going, pretty much any road will get you there. Yeah. And that is both simple and profound at the same time, because so many people, if I was to ask you, hey, Bob, Joe, Mary, whoever, why do you have your 401k? What purpose is that fulfilling in your overall financial plan? Why do you have a CD? Why do you have, and I'm specifically talking financial tools, but this goes to everything in life. Why do you own your home? Why are you renting over buying a home? Right? A lot of times we don't have clarity on the decisions that we make in the overall framework of what's going on. One of my favorite quotes is, old men plant trees whose shade they will never sit in. I love that because it is a mindset of looking towards the future and making plans and being very systematic about things and gaining clarity that could be a long ways into the future. So clarity is a big part of taking a look at, does the and asset make sense for me? Efficiency. Sometimes we need to implement some efficiencies, quite frankly. We've got exorbitant debt. It's creating a drag on our overall financial picture. We have no savings whatsoever. Right, so efficiency is a huge principle to tackle, and I love the words that we have for our principles because they don't just apply to wealth; they apply to other things in life as well.
Yeah, and just to talk about that a little bit, and I want you to finish your thought, but it's like if you have 25% credit card debt, and you're asking the question, should I have $1,000 a month? Should I put my money in the and asset? And we go, yeah, like that, the and asset would be great, which is true. But if you put it up against your model, you might be way better off taking that $1,000, paying off that 25% debt, and then taking that $1,000 plus the now freed up extra money that was going out and then redirecting it towards the end asset. That's more efficient, and that's why that's principle number 2 and not 3. Am I on the right track here as it relates to when we sit down with people and really get clarity, going back to the clarity on
Sure.
like where they're at?
Absolutely. And realize too that clarity in its true sense may not come for a couple years.
Yeah.
It may not come for 5 years. But what we can very tangibly deal with is efficiency. We can look mathematically based off of a cash flow ratio financial model and go, that's inefficient. We need to deal with that. And we can deal with that because of this reason. Because when you have good input in our financial model, you get good output. And we can change the inputs to manipulate the outputs. And we can model what something would look like if we changed these behaviors. Because sometimes it's behavior change, right? And other times it's simply redirecting where cash flow is coming from and going to. And that's a gross oversimplification. However, you got to deal with efficiency. And there's other efficiencies too. And I think these are great principles for better health, better living, better whatever. Because you talk about my ability to work efficiently virtually sometimes. And that if you saw my calendar, there's blocks for all the time. If there's not a block, I literally don't know what to do with myself because I've said this is what I'm doing during that time.
Yeah.
So efficiency kind of spans, pretty wide gap there. And then consistency caveated with accountability. We can be consistent in a lot of right things and we can be consistent in a lot of wrong things. Either way, we need accountability in what it is that we're doing. And again, this goes outside of finances as well, into other aspects of our lives. We need to be consistent in our saving. We need to be consistent in our investing. We need to be consistent in our time management. And we should really be accountable to that. And accountability suggests that you need to have data. One of the things that I'm super excited about is BetterWealth's ability to capture clients' data and help hold us and them accountable to it. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
If you've gone to somebody and they've said, all right, well, we're here for the meeting. What are we going to do? Probably, have a different meeting.
Yeah, that might be a reason why you want to stop working with that person potentially. If they and yeah.
So data is great because it allows us to track. It allows us to be accountable. It allows us to model things that we had done previously and that we want to do in the future. The idea of modeling is phenomenal. It's going to change people's lives when they see this is what this means based off of math. The math is the math. Now we have to deal with and get to deal with the human aspect of that, which I think is fantastic. And then use. You're going to use your time, you're going to use your talents, you're going to use your treasure, and you're going to use your wealth. How are we going to use it? What are we going to do with these things? You should have that written down. You should have that cataloged somewhere. You should be excited about it. Don't feel bad about how you're going to use your money. What is it that you say your greatest need for, you say it so well, your greatest need for money in this life is
Yeah, well, your greatest financial need is not, you ask someone like what your greatest financial need is, it's actually using money.
Yeah. I cannot, make enough quilts in order to trade quilts for the things that I need. A, I don't make good quilts, and B, that's not the medium of exchange that we have, right?
Right.
So, long way around for a kiss. Should you use the and asset? You like that?
I do.
You never heard that?
Yeah.
So the long way around for a kiss is, should I use the and asset? The answer is, let's have a deeper dialogue about that.
Yeah.
If you come to BetterWealth and you're like, I want to put X amount of dollars into a life insurance contract that's structured correctly, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do that, and you know all those things, we can certainly help you with that. And in addition to that, if you're asking, should I do this right now? Maybe. Let's get to know each other. Let's have a dialogue. Let's see where you're headed. Let's talk about some efficiencies, and let's go through this process so that we can both be accountable to the model that you decide on as the client. Yeah. You have the ability to say, I want to do this, and we have the capability to help you get there.
Right. And the cool thing is, Jeremy, that process, those principles that we walk people through, it can answer, should I invest in this? Should I quit my job? What should I do with, college or whatever the thing is, whatever the question is, we now have principles to walk through that conversation, and that is so valuable as well.
I love the word principles because principles can be used as a litmus test in the moment.
Yeah.
When you're at the store and you're about to purchase the $1,000 TV, you can go back to the principles of clarity, efficiency, consistency, and accountability and use and go, does this make sense based off of what I know about my model? And go, yeah, this is part of it. This is what I'm going to do. Or maybe no, this is not part of it. So we need to continue to give folks, and ourselves included, we're all accountable to the financial model, our own financial models. And in addition to that, we need to have those things in place as a practice, personally, professionally, and in all aspects of it.
Yep. So the answer, when someone clicked on this and they wanted to know, does the end asset make sense to them? The answer is it depends. And if you can get clarity on your end and do that whole deal, then yeah, we can be one of many people that can give you an and asset if it makes sense. But I'm telling you, there's benefits of having people come alongside you and help you with that. And that's what we're building our brand off of. That's what we're building our company because we believe it's so important. And so, man, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for so eloquently explaining this. And I feel very blessed that I have someone like you helping us build this process of principles because we're really building our foundation in people's lives off of the rock.
Yeah, pleasure. Absolutely love it.
All right. Well, if you're someone that's like, I want to learn more about this, go check us out at BetterWealth.com. That's BetterWealth.com. We have a lot of videos for you to consume. You can also learn more about our Better Wealth Blueprint. And in the meantime, thank you so much for listening to this show. And thank you for sharing and subscribing and being an advocate for living a more intentional life. Thank you so much for listening to the Better Wealth Podcast. It would mean the world to me if you could hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this with the people that you know and love.